Hello, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Welcome to my tarot channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to do 3 individual readings today, one for each of you. Check the timestamps below so you can hop right to yours. But please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date or time. That being said, let's get you some helpful, insightful messages for my fire signs. We're going to start with Aries, okay? So one more good shuffle for Aries. What's coming in for love for Aries? Ooh, a good offer. This feels like the $1 million offer. It could be a job offer for some of you. But you're not sure how you feel about it or if you're willing to emotionally invest with this person. For some reason, I'm getting earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, see, I think this is a very strong card of Aries anyway. I think a lot of you are distracted by something else. So I think there's an offer that comes through that for the person making the offer packs a lot of punch. I think they're very serious about it, but I almost sense that you don't view them in the same light or in the same way. It could be someone that maybe you've friend zoned, but they still have feelings for you. With the page, I'm wanting to say they may reach out to you again or make a second offer. It could be a water sign potentially, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but it doesn't have to be. But yeah, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to say like this person won't take no for an answer, but I'm thinking that they're hoping you're going to change their mind. Or I'm sorry, they're going to change your mind. But I don't know, with the 7 of Cups, it seems like you're, I don't know, half in, half out, or just there's sort of mystery about who you want to emotionally invest in. So you're distracted by something with the Queen of Wands looking off to the side here. What is she looking at? So you may have your eye on a Leo. For those who have children, you may just have your hands full dealing with some sort of issue with a child, maybe a sibling. For some of you, it could be a message that you feel like this person is, I kind of see this both ways. You may feel like this person is too immature, or the opposite. You may be looking for someone who's a little bit more youthful, a little bit more spirited, a little bit more passionate, vivacious, full of life. For a lot of you, though, I feel like you may have a crush on someone else. For a lot of you, I'm sensing Leo. So where does this person stand then? The Star. Interesting. I mean, the Star usually has to do with long-term plans and dreams and wishes coming into manifestation. It is a card of healing. So I sort of feel like, especially for the cross watchers on their Aries, if you kind of resonate as this person who, like, you're very serious with the 10 of Pentacles, it's like you want to put it all on the line and make an offer to your Aries person. I feel like what's in store for you is maybe some healing from this relationship, because I do think, like, you can quite clearly see, like, these people aren't even looking at each other. I don't think they're on the same page. I think, again, Aries is distracted by something going on over here. We'll pull cards on the Leo. But yeah, in terms of this connection, I feel like there's many stars in the sky, and I almost think that that's saying you don't have their full attention. There may be other prospects or other suitors, or they're just, their time and attention is busy by other things. And so whatever this connection is, it seems like it's being put on the back burner, or it's less important. I mean, quite clearly, she's like, again, has her back turned towards this offer, he, she, whoever this is. And yeah, I don't know, I don't typically get this from the Star card, but I'm almost getting the idea of sort of, you're offering this cup, right? You know, cups have this water in them, essentially, right? It's offering this emotional thing, but then she's literally pouring the cups out. So it's like whatever this person is offering, this person is kind of rejecting. It's like they're, you know, the water is being put back into the land. That's sort of what I get. It's like, thanks, but no thanks. So interesting, Aries. You may have someone who's reaching out to you and wanting to be more serious, but I don't know. I don't see that working out currently where your energy is at. It's possible that this may involve an Aquarius in some capacity. I also think, again, a lot of you, it's like your eyes are on a Leo, you know, a fellow fire sign. That makes sense to me. It certainly doesn't have to be, but I'm just getting the idea if you want someone who's a little bit more oomph, they have a little bit more fun, more passion, more pizzazz, more excitement to them. But, okay, so it's possible some of you may be intrigued by someone who's already taken at the moment. Maybe they're already in a relationship. Maybe they're married. It could also be someone at work, specifically your boss. Some of you may have like a kind of like a crush or a romance going on with someone at your workplace. Yeah, so for those of you who are interested in someone who is not currently available, I do feel like you're going to be waiting for them to become single for quite some time. Will they? I don't know. The King of Pentacles it's fixed energy. So here's the thing. I think this person is probably reciprocating any flirtation that's going on, but I don't necessarily think they're available. And some of you may not actually know that as well. You may have made an assumption that, this person you have a crush on is, yours for the taking. I would get a little bit more clarity on that, because you may come to find out like, they're not single after all. All right, that's one message. Anything else I can tell my Aries in terms of love? The Magician. Yeah, I think a lot of you are kind of in the process of manifesting something new, which is fabulous, fantastic energy. But I'm going to caution you, you're going to have to be a little bit patient, which I know Aries hate to hear, right? You just want to do it. You want to be swift and move towards it. I totally get that, right? I think if you rush into something kind of haphazardly or without really thinking it through or sort of really analyzing who you're dealing with, again, I think there's kind of like this passionate or kind of like gleeful, playful flirtation, but you may actually get involved with something that, had you thought it through or done the research, so to say, a little bit, you could save yourself some disappointment or heartache. I think some of you may be trying to rush into a relationship because you haven't fully healed from something that is still sort of weighing on you or taking its toll a little bit. So, as always, with the Three of Swords, I'm encouraging you to be self-focused and healing before you're rushing out to meet and mingle other people. And I think it's important to say too, like, you're not expected to be the perfect person. Just because you're in the process of healing doesn't mean you can't go out and date. But if the options aren't good, or I don't know, I just kind of feel like the universe is sort of suggesting that the person that you have eyes for right now might not actually be a good choice, at least in this moment, right? Things can change in a couple months, whatever. I really feel like keep working on manifestations for something new. It's possible you may have two things come in at once, but I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I think you're going to have to wait a little bit for it. There could be something good that comes in with a Capricorn or a fellow Aries. And it's possible that some of you, this King of Pentacles, if they are truly single, there might be some sort of love offer here, likely an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But again, it's going to be slow to build. So again, make sure this person isn't already taken or married. It could just be sort of that workplace scenario thing though, where I don't know. The King of Pentacles is someone who has a lot of abundance, whether that's quite literally money or they just kind of live a luxurious lifestyle or really know their value and their self-worth, that kind of thing. There's something to be said for that. I do kind of like that energy as long as it's not representing someone who's already in a committed partnership. If you can kind of open yourself up to the possibility of things operating at a slower pace, I think you will set yourself up for success. And Earth is the slowest moving element, right? So as much as we want it to be rapid and quick, I don't know. There's a very strong chance that Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is going to catch your eye, but it's going to take its sweet time. That's what I see for you, Aries. All right. Let's do a little shuffle, and we'll move on to Leo. So you may want to stick around for the Leo reading, Aries, if that indeed was your story. All right, good shuffle. Let's connect to the Leos out there. Whoops, Queen of Swords. Someone has a message for you. They just keep falling out. All right, tell me more. We'll keep the Queen of Swords. For Leo, what does Leo need to see and hear in terms of their love and dating life? For Leo, whoops. Interesting. All right. So I feel like someone who may have recently rejected you or left you out in the cold is actually having second thoughts, and they're wanting to heal something and bring this relationship back together. And I don't see that all the time. It's possible it has to do with an air sign: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe Sagittarius. Those are the major signs popping out at me. It could also be an Aries. It's funny. Leo definitely showed up in the Aries reading. What else? For some of you, your partner wants to have a conversation about money, but they know it's a bit of a sensitive subject, and so they're trying to approach you in a way that is gentle and gingerly. For some of you, there's going to be like unexpected money going to some sort of house project, and it might be something that, it's going to it's going to be more enjoyable potentially with the Four of Wands. But yeah, there may be some money going to something where you're having a little bit of trouble parting with it. Like, oh gosh, like I didn't want to do this repair now, but you know what? Like we kind of have no choice. So we have to move forward with it. It ends well, but it may kind of put you in a tight spot financially for a minute. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit more here, Tarot. We have the Five of Coins. So a partnership that definitely had its struggles. I would say a lack of communication, right? This is a Mercury card, but it's like, you have two people who in theory are on the same team, but they're not communicating. They should be finding solutions together, and they're not, right? They're walking out in the snow barefoot, but hey, there's a church behind them, right? They're shelter from the storm. If only they were kind of more aware of their situation, talking to the person, using them as a resource, as an ally, right? So the Five of Pentacles to me is some sort of strained relationship. The Four of Cups, depending on the scenario, I don't know. I would say in this, it might represent someone who's kind of moody, but also it's a Cancerian card. So the idea of the past, being very nostalgic, being sentimental, being a little bit sort of stuck on the emotional connection, even if it is no longer kind of in this person's life. I definitely think there's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of contemplating. There may be a little bit of guilt and sort of this idea of, did I break it off too soon, or I should have treated them better? Someone is definitely thinking about whatever kind of drama or chaos you went through as a couple. And then the Temperance card is very positive. It is about healing. It's about bringing things together, with moderation, with better balance. And interestingly enough, you have a Libra card here, and Libra is like the scales, right? It's all about equality and balance and justice and truth and things of that sort. And then you have the Four of Wands. So I don't know, for some of you may be going through a divorce or recently divorced, and you yourself may be healing from a connection. And I think for some of you, I'm sort of getting this idea of feeling a little bit lost and uncertain if you made the correct choice, or some sort of ending in your life. You may be feeling a little bit lost, but I think the universe is saying, like, the angels are guiding you, the divine spirit, whatever you believe in, the higher power, higher source is around you, kind of leaving that breadcrumb trail. Like, you're going to be fine. You haven't been forgotten. Something very good and beneficial comes out of this situation, but it is going to kind of require you to kind of go within and maybe lean into some sort of stability in terms of finding some spirituality, or I don't know, just like going out and spending time in nature. Water can be very healing for you at this time, but the sun will rise again for you, Leos. And it could be that this, whatever this was, getting rid of something or someone, or, maybe it was a job, whatever, it's actually making room for what is more in alignment with your future. I do really like, the Four of Wands. It's the 1111 card, but it has to do with trusting your intuition, that you did need to get rid of whatever was getting in your way, or a relationship that was sort of blocking sort of a more divine counterpart, if you will, or something that was really meant for you, your destiny. You kind of had to go through this learning process, or this, I don't know, something that sort of didn't meet your expectation or left you feeling kind of lackluster or disappointed. And so this might be kind of mutual. It could be that you went through something with a person who probably is now your ex, maybe, or maybe kind of went cold on you. And I think, I don't know, the way I see it, it's like maybe you both are kind of in this state of like, should I reach out again? Like, I wasn't happy in it, but did we give up too soon? Should I, So let's pull some cards on that. In terms of For a lot of you Libras, it's funny, I'm calling you Leo, sorry. For a lot of you Leos, I'm saying that because you have Libra cards here. It feels like maybe you were the one that was released or let go or rejected. Yeah, maybe unexpectedly too. So where are we going from here? Page of Wands. This is about getting your groove back, getting your confidence back, making your way out into the world, doing the proper healing. Yeah, I do think whoever this person is, it's possible they're going to reach out to you with an offer, but it's only showing up as a Page of Cups. So have they really done the inner work? Have they, are they changing themselves? Are they transforming themselves in the situation to make you a better offer? I don't know if I see that yet with the Page of Cups. They certainly are thinking about you. They certainly hold some sort of emotion for you, but I don't necessarily think they're approaching this from sort of a new perspective where it's going to actually change the game. So it's kind of like the universe is testing you, like, are you guys in a place where you're ready to get this back together again? I just have to be honest, I don't necessarily see that. I think, she's always waving it in, right? The Queen of Swords. She has this very stern look on her face, but I always see her as like, yes, come closer. What do you have for me? So you can reach out, right? Or vice versa. If they reach out, you can respond, but I don't think that you're going to really appreciate and revel in what they're offering to you. I think with a little bit more kind of discovery and conversation, you're going to see like this person is exactly where they're at. I think it's lack mentality for both of you. It's like, well, it felt good to have someone in my life, even though it wasn't great. But really, Leo, I think you're being asked to raise the bar a little bit because that's what this Four of Wands is. Yeah, there could be another fire sign, a fellow Leo perhaps, an Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, that wants to build with you in a much more serious, steady way. I like that a lot better. So yeah, I would resist the temptation to reach back out to the ex or really try and hit restart with someone if you know that there's kind of just a lot of struggle. It's almost like too little, too late. That's what I would say here with this offer. Yeah, bottom of the deck, it's like fear-based. May or may not involve a Capricorn. It certainly doesn't have to. And for most of you, I don't think it does. However, with the devil energy coming through here based on what I'm seeing, I think it has to do with this fear of like, well, I don't want to be single, or what if this is my person and we just didn't work hard enough at it. Again, that's like lack mentality. It's like seeing things from a very narrow perspective. The idea of like being shackled to someone, you have some stuff to work through, but I don't necessarily think it's together. I think it has to do with more like self-work and self-healing, because I like this so much better. In terms of a timeline, I actually think it could be Capricorn season. Yeah, maybe something with the Cancerian Capricorn season. So something with the Cancer full moon, which is going to be happening right around Christmas for those who celebrate. I think it's like December 26th, full moon in Cancer. There could be some sort of interesting. Chiron's going to go direct then too. So the idea of feeling like you're moving forward with your healing, there could be something in Capricorn season that brings about some sort of new change in how you're going to approach relationships and the partnerships you seek. All right, Leo, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like and share, subscribe if this resonated for you. I would appreciate it. All right, and last but not least, we're going to do Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see what's coming in for love. Who loves you, baby? Let's see, the Magician. All right, let's see what's going on here. So... it's funny, the Magician almost looks like he's pointing at the Ten of Swords. So I feel like, I don't know, the first message that you get from this is like, there is this desire to immerse yourself in something new beginnings, right, with the Magician, but it's almost like the Magician is pointing out the fact that we can't ignore the elephant in the room, which is the Ten of Swords. So if you're already with a person, it could indicate that you or your partner is really going through a struggle, but it's not being given the proper amount of attention and healing work, because there's a desire to move away from this very quickly, but then it's like we're still left to pick up the broken pieces. I don't even totally know what I just said there, but like it feels right with the storyline here. Really what I would say is like rushing the process of healing. It's doing you or your partner a disservice, because it's going to make more work in the long run. It could be that your partner is going through some sort of health issue, or maybe they were laid off from a job, and it's almost like, because very Sagittarian energy is like, let's keep the mood high, let's keep the vibe going, like we're not going to worry about it, it's all going to be good, life is going to be beautiful, don't worry about it. There's a time and a place for that, and that's something I very much admire about kind of that Sagittarian Jupiter energy. It's like, it's not worth crying about spilled milk, right? Like, we just have to move on. Yes, but this situation is far more complicated than that. And so, but again, by not giving it the proper time and attention, by not being maybe a good listener for your partner, or maybe this is you, by not giving this the proper healing or time and attention to heal, if we just kind of like glide over it or gloss over it, we end up with Five of Pentacles, which is like, ooh, now like I'm not operating from a good place because I didn't do my healing work. I know that's kind of a bummer of a message, Sagittarius. I'm going to give you more, of course. But yeah, I think that's the most important thing, is maybe you're going through a breakup or an ending. Maybe it's not about racing out to, hook up with like a rebound or reach out to another person, or I don't know, like rushing the process to mingle and be passionate with someone else. Maybe it's just like sex. So again, like rebounding. In the long run, again, it's going to do you like a disservice. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know this is not like a fun message, but I'm worried that it's like, there's a better word for this, but there is like an avoidance. There's like an avoidant personality type where it's like, if I don't look at it, if I don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist. Only the universe is like, yes, it does. And it's going to start to show in other ways. So do the healing work. All right, we're going to move on. Although this may or may not be connected. So the Eight of Cups is it's a very brave card, I always say. It's a card of emotional bravery. It's a card of courage. It's leaving behind something that at one point in time was quite emotionally fulfilling, but understanding that this isn't where the story ends. So it's sort of going out with the idea in a very positive way that, you know what, there is more out there for me. I don't have to be stuck to this thing or tied to this person or to this job if it's not making me happy anymore, right? So he wears his red coat, right? It represents fire, it represents that passion to sort of go after something that lights your fire. And with cups, we have to remember, where do our emotions factor into this? Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we, I just heard something funny. I'm not going to say it. Are we bored? Are we frustrated? Or, fill in the blank, whatever it is. Pursuing something else, it does involve sort of emotional bravery to detach from something. And, depending on the situation, it's not necessarily that you have to abandon something entirely, but you kind of have to mix it up and go after something new and maybe, freshen it up, so to say, with the Eight of Cups. It is a card of Pisces. I don't know why I felt like I'm being called to say that, so we'll see. So then you have the Six of Pentacles, which is about balance and equilibrium, and then you have the Page of Cups. Sagittarius, this is all over the place. So throw me one on this Ten of Swords. What's the deal with this? I'm being called to say follow the red. Follow the red. So the Magician to the Ten of Swords is this person. Again, do you see how like there's this blocking? There's this like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to acknowledge it. So some of you may have been in a relationship where you found out that the person wasn't being faithful, or that maybe there was like something going on the sidelines. And that could have sort of blindsided you. The fact that your person maybe had other minglings and other connections. And some of you, I'm hearing more like emotional robbing, like, or robbery, or it sort of blindsided you or made you question how you felt about this person and what you thought was real and authentic. It's almost like they were putting on a show. He's all dressed up, right? But it's only a page. Like, it's not that sort of big offer that you thought it was. And so for a lot of you, I'm almost being guided to say that like this might be you that needs to do the healing before you move on. Because it's almost like you're entering into a relationship, you know, metaphorically like crippled, right? On crutches. It's like you're barely getting by because this person kind of, you were left with a lot of heartache and pain or feelings of disillusion and disbelief, very Piscean words, not to say it has to be with a Pisces, but this idea of feeling tricked, feeling fooled, feeling like there was this illusion of what you thought this was versus what it actually was. I don't want you to kind of go after the first thing that catches your eye, because I'm struggling to come up with the words, but it's like you're going to set yourself up for more trouble. It's almost like I think you need to process what actually happened. And it's not to say that you necessarily did something wrong, but maybe there is something to the fact of maybe being a little bit more inquisitive about what you want and what you desire in a partner, rather than, again, like rushing or expediting the process because you're kind of lost in the moment of like, well, this is fun and this is exciting. We might need to like take a beat, you know, we might need to like take a moment and be like, well, how much do I really know about this person? So like before we rush in together, before we get married, before we have, children or whatever it is, maybe there is kind of this like pump the brakes a little bit. That's honestly what I would say. The King of Cups I do like, but there is this energy, it's Scorpio energy, right? So this kind of fixed water, there's a transformative energy with the King of Cups, right? So it's almost like we need to transform what we're doing with sort of the negative emotions or the negative thoughts that may be weighing down on us. Instead of pretending they don't exist, it's almost like we have to really acknowledge that skeleton in the closet and go in and kind of excavate or dig it out, look at it in the eye and be like, this thing isn't going to have power over me, but it's because I'm acknowledging it and working through it that I'm not going to be left feeling like crappy, There's light on the other side of or was that the expression, light at the other side of the tunnel? But yeah, you do kind of have to go through like a little bit of darkness to see the reward here. You may have gone through something with a Scorpio. The idea of testing the waters out, again, there's something very kind of like naive and innocent about that. That's like, it's like just dipping your toe in ever so slightly. It's like getting a feel for someone, trying a person on for size rather than being like, you're my person, I love you, let's spend the rest of our lives together. And I'm not necessarily saying you're doing that, but you're being cautioned to like move ahead full speed. And honestly, guys, like the astrology for December, there's a lot of kind of like delays and frustrations and it's like stuff with Neptune where it's like whether we like it or not, there is going to be kind of like some fogginess. We're not going to have absolute clarity, so we're just going to have to go through that kind of with our faith, and most of all, like our intuition is going to be our best guidance system. So yeah, I would say protecting your energy is sort of what's advised to you right now. We have to have more of like a strategy or a bit more of like a game plan as we move to the future. It's, again, there's a time and a place to be very carefree and throw caution to the wind, but you're being asked to balance that like Leo and Scorpio energy, right? So you have that fire, you have that playful, passionate, kind of charismatic, worry-free energy, which, is typically kind of Sagittarian, right? But then it's being balanced with Scorpio, which is kind of like the secret keeper. It's like the detective, the sleuth. It's like keeping things undercover, getting a pulse on people, very psychic, kind of feeling them out, seeing what their body language is like mixing those two energies that don't typically go together. You're kind of being asked to incorporate that as like a package deal as you go out into the world. All right, any last messages for Sagittarius? Again, practicing more balance. And Scorpio can be a sign of extremes, right? So that's what I mean. It's being tapered with this Sun card, which honestly is like one of the happiest cards in tarot. But yeah, it's like we have to do the fire and the water, the heavy stuff and the lighthearted energy. Some of you would benefit from kind of branching out and doing something away from your normal comfort zone, particularly something to do with like charity or volunteering. I think spiritually there would be something kind of beneficial about that for you and it would help you get grounded, like kind of like settle your energy. meeting people who are maybe going through their own personal strife or challenges, sort of as a way, again, to ground you and give you a little bit of perspective. You know, there's a lot of stories out there, you know, that expression, like, everybody is fighting a battle you know nothing about. I think that's true, but like, rather than isolating, it's good to still be out and be social and kind of, you know, exchanging things with people. But I honestly feel like there's some sort of like mystical connection. There's some sort of like kismet connection you're going to make, because of where you're at in your journey right now, meeting kind of like-minded people or people who are going through similar challenges. You may find a tremendous support system in someone out there, even if it is just a friend. And I sort of am kind of leaning that way, but yeah. So anyway, for zodiac signs, the Magician, possibly Virgo, Gemini, possibly Scorpio, possibly Leo. Again, we mentioned Pisces. There's kind of a lot of signs coming through here, but and there could be a fellow Sagittarius as well. So, all right, Sag, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Have a very happy birthday. I'll see you soon for more tarot. Life just got busy, but I should be coming on before the end of December again for more tarot readings. So until then, take care, Sag. Bye.